off for now. Today, we're going to talk about one of the questions I get asked more than anything else, and that is, how do I afford to travel? So yeah, roll intro. I don't think I have one of those yet. I guess I'll just have to... Alright, so that was interesting. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I just wanted to edit something like that. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever use it again. We'll see. Anyways, so, topic at hand. How do I afford to travel? Well, honestly, the short answer to that question is that I work. Now, obviously, you're going to be like, okay, yeah, duh. Of course you work for the money, but there's so much more. What kind of jobs am I doing? How do I find the work? How long do I work for? You know, all those kinds of things. And I guess the thing is that I really want to be very transparent on this channel. I want to let you guys know how I'm able to do this, because frankly, almost anyone can do it. The thing is, it's just, you have to, it can be hard sometimes in the beginning because you don't know how to even go about trying to find work abroad. So I just wanted to give you some insight on how I do it, and also maybe give you guys some tips on how you can start looking for work and what kind of jobs are the easiest to find. So I'll be very honest, I'm very lucky in regards to what I do and some of the skills that I have, which allow me to get a certain set of jobs that might be a little less available. And one of those key things is that I have experience and work in the wine industry. So what that actually allows me to do, even aside from getting any other jobs, often if you do a thing which is kind of called harvest jumping or whatever, you work for 3 months in a winery in the southern hemisphere, then you can travel for 3 months, and then you work for 3 months in the northern hemisphere back, and you rinse and repeat. And a lot of times these winery jobs during the harvest season are just absolutely insane. I mean, you are working 7 days a week for 12 hours a day plus. And what that ends up doing is that you are not spending any money, because a lot of times accommodation's included, or the winemaker will help you find some at a pretty low price. So you end up not spending much money because frankly you don't have time. However, that's not the path I've only taken, I guess so. You know what, I'm gonna rewind. I'm gonna go back to the beginning. So I graduated from university, and then that entire summer after graduation, I worked 3 jobs to save up the money for my initial investment on my trip. I was a barista in the morning, I was tutoring in the afternoon, and I was bartending at night, which allowed me to save up enough money to set out on the initial trip. So then I went to New Zealand, and I honestly was just there for about 5.5 weeks traveling without really without working at all, actually. Then as soon as I reached Australia, then I started looking for work because I needed to make a little bit more money. So right away, tip number one of the easiest jobs to find abroad is within hospitality. And so you're looking at things like bartending, waiting tables, if you're a cook, even jobs like dishwashing. And along with that, hospitality being accommodation type stuff as well, so hotels and hostels, so reception jobs, housekeeping, all those kinds of things. And especially those will allow you to stay in a place for free even. So I went to Australia, and right away I got a job both in a bar and in a hostel. So that gave me free accommodation, and then also money that I was then saving up until my next bit of non-working. So really, long story short, what it comes down to is that to afford my travels, I work, and I work a lot of seasonal type jobs, or I work really hard for a set amount of time where I don't really even have time to spend any money. And then I'm able to leave, and then I pretty much travel until that money gets pretty close to gone and I need to find the next job. So yeah, that really is it. I guess I thought it was going to be more of a complex answer, but really it isn't. It's just work. So what you really need to do, and I'm gonna make a whole series of videos about how to do your first trip, how to plan your first trip. It'll be a video series which covers everything from the first step in your head, which is in your head and all committing to the trip, how to save money, how to find how to find cheap airplane tickets, how to pick your first location that you're gonna go to, how to find work, how to, what life in hostels is like, all that kind of stuff, so you can kind of get a feel for what you have to do to go on your very first trip. But like I said, this is how I afford to travel. I thought it was going to be more of a complex answer than it is, but really it's as simple as working. And then I think really one of the keys though is hospitality. You can get a job in like a bar or a restaurant pretty much anywhere in the world because there's always work available. And especially in these traveler towns and a lot of tourist locations. And honestly, some of those jobs, even for accommodation, that's a great way to save money. Work a couple hours a day in a hostel doing some housekeeping or something like that. So you're not making any money, but a lot of times they'll give you things like free accommodation, they'll give you free internet if that's a place where you have to pay for Wi-Fi. They'll give you free laundry and maybe a meal a day, So those kinds of things, which allows you to really stretch all the money that you have in your account and allow you to really focus that money on doing things and experiences rather than, paying for a dorm. And I'll be honest with you, the time that I worked in the hostel, that was 3 of the most fun months of my entire trip. I had an absolute blast working with these people and working in this location. So the key is that sometimes you just can't be too picky, if you're traveling and that's what you're trying to do, then part of the experience is being abroad. You're not always going to be able to just choose whatever, job you want to do. So you're not always going to work the most glamorous thing. Sometimes you're going to be scrubbing toilets, but you'll be doing it with the best people you've ever met. So it's actually not so bad. So yeah, work. That's the answer. All right, well, on that note, I think I'm gonna I'll give you a little bit of an update what's going on. As far as these videos go, I kind of mentioned in the last one that I wanted to start talking, having more of a conversation with you guys and the people that watch these videos. And I'm curious, what kind of stuff you want to see happen. I have a lot of ideas of things that I want to do. Like I said, I want to start this video series and about how do you start traveling? How do if I know nothing about travel or hostels or booking flights, how do I begin? So stuff like that. I want to start doing more like travel guides for individual cities, maybe quick short little videos that are quick bites on just a country, that talks about things like tipping culture and, what the currency is and all those kinds of things, just like quick facts that you'll need to know or that you'd like to know about a country before you go there. So I have all those kinds of ideas, and of course I'll still keep doing the vlogs. I love the vlogs, they're so much fun. Hopefully those are entertaining. That's what first and foremost, I hope they're entertaining and I hope they're inspiring, both for, for ideas if you do ever end up in one of the locations that I'm vlogging in, or even just, inspiration to go out and travel and maybe start taking those first steps towards your first trip, regardless of how big or small it might be, because traveling is the best thing in the world for me. I mean, I'm super lucky that I have found a way to kind of travel full time. I mean, right now I'm not working. Like I said, the whole topic of this video is how I afford to travel, and I've been working. So you do the work thing, and then you have time to travel, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm on the traveling phase, but I already have my next job lined up in February. I will be working in a winery again, actually in South Africa, which I'm pretty stoked about. So, but yeah, more exciting vlogs coming up. I did a whole food tour, well, a tour really. I walked around and tried to find the most local foods in Hanoi, Vietnam, in the Old Quarter, which is where I was staying. I ate some really cool stuff, and I filmed the whole thing. I was with some, a really cool guy that I met in the hostel. He kind of showed me around some of the hidden things he'd found because he'd been chilling there for a while. So that's probably next week. I'm really excited about that video. It's gonna be super fun. And of course, I'll be making one all about coming home. I'll be making one about New Year's in Chiang Mai. So there's gonna be all kinds of cool stuff coming up. So if you are not subscribed, please do so. Go down and hit the subscribe button. Like I said, I'm going to have tons of more cool vlogs coming out, and I'm also going to have more. I'm finally getting into the travel guides and all that other fun stuff. So please hit that subscribe button if you like this video, because there'll be more stuff coming out soon. And yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next week.